The film was the closing night film at the Cannes Film Festival this year, and on hand for the occasion was a long, tall Geena Davis and not so long and tall Ridley Scott.
It's feminist, it was male bashing, but it was funny, and also it had a strong subtext. And I just think a film with that kind of subtext that the script has, with this overtone of comedy, is kind of a perfect combination, really.
The dynamic at the start of the movie has always been that Thelma is someone who completely gives up all responsibility for her life to anyone who wants it. And then when things start to happen to them in the movie, we get in some pretty desperate situations. It starts to change. You know, Thelma starts exerting herself a little and likes the feeling and realizes that there's a whole nother way to live, and that is being in charge of your own life and taking responsibility and claiming your power.
I always wanted to travel, I just never got the opportunity. You got it now.
I've always admired his work. I think he's a really fabulous director. But it was interesting, you know, to have him direct an intimate movie about women, and you know, that's how it read, as sort of this interesting character study of two women from a small town, and kind of this smaller story than what he eventually turned it into, which I think is just what it needed, you know, was someone to really just blow it apart and expand it and do the things that only Ridley can do.
Susan's really is very clever, because she's not only a very good dramatic actress, but she's also she's very funny. She's a good comedian, but also she's a real chameleon, you know, because she changes. And I found that really interesting. I figured, because when I go for an actor, I always try and find somebody that I feel is going to be able to go through what seems to be on paper, you know, go beyond it. So that's what I always look for, somebody who can go through the envelope. And surprised me. And Geena had called up and said, you know, I want to meet, I want to tell about the script because I want to do it. So I met her, and I really liked her, actually, and it kind of just stuck.
Shoot the radio. The police radio, Louise. Got it.
Susan and I both loved the fact that we got to be outlaws and do things that is usually guy kind of things, you know, a lot of driving and shooting and blowing up things and fun stuff. We enjoyed it, but it was also very hard.
No, I know it's crazy. I just feel like I got a knack for this. I believe you did.
It was like, for me, instant. The minute I laid eyes on her, I really, really liked her. She's the kind of person who lets you know right away, this is me, and this is how I am, this is what I think, and I ended up feeling like she's my hero, and I want to be like her, you know. And it's interesting because Thelma feels that way about Louise a lot in the movie, and I thought how curious it was that we developed that dynamic in real life too, where I would kind of lean on her for things, you know, like if Ridley wanted us to do something we maybe didn't want to, or you know, some situation came up where we would have to be tough, you know, I kind of always got her to do it, you know. I'd say, well, I don't know, maybe. What do you think, Susan? She'd say, no, we're not doing it, right? I'd say, oh, yeah, right, whatever Susan says.
Thelma! Louise! Thelma! Louise! Thelma! Thelma! Look! Get in the car!
You know, because a delicate balance, this script, of, I think because if you allow the humour to lapse, you could easily make a docudrama of this, and then you're going to switch off half your audience, which are the male members of the audience. The best thing to do in teaching anybody, in a way, is to make them laugh at themselves, or laugh at who they think their species are, and even if they think it's not me, it's him, then, you know, maybe that's going to get through. It's going to be stronger if they laugh.
The wonderful, wonderful Geena Davis and the intense Ridley Scott talking about Thelma and Louise.